Welcome to Thanks for Sharing, everybody. We're your hosts, David O.
And Eric V.
And for those of you who are tuning into this section of podcast recovery for the first time, this is a little expose, if you will, a weekly update on your hosts, David O. and Eric V.
Our recovery.
Getting into our recovery, our minds, what makes us tick, what's going on in our lives on a week-to-week basis, just so, you can touch base and we're...
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we'll have guests. Yeah. Sometimes we'll put, different content here that we don't feel fits Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah. It's a more loosey-goosey section of podcast recovery.
I'm a fan.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
I'm coming around. So, where are you at, Eric?
I'm first. Cool. Okay.
I'm gonna put you first.
Hey, I'm okay with it.
I gotta think it was like whether I'm up for sharing today. We'll see.
Is it one of those days, David?
It's a weird day,
All right. Well, I guess. I guess I'll do just a little update about kind of what I've been working on lately, and I shared about it, and I don't know where this will be in line with what we kind of talked about with our guest, last hour.
You attended a 12-step meeting this week, which is good.
I did attend a 12-step meeting this week, which was the first meeting I've attended since...
Gotta be
August?
6 months, yeah.
Or September? Well, I celebrated in August.
Did you? Or did you celebrate in July?
Well, no, I was supposed to celebrate in July, but I had to work. Yeah,
you had to work.
And for travel, and I rescheduled. I think I stuck around in that home group for another 2 weeks, and then I never went back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to a 12-step meeting, which was good. It was good speaker, good.
Nice.
A little long-winded, but good speaker.
I passed along your good feelings to Carly last week when she celebrated.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 2 years is a big deal.
Yeah. She did a great job. It was very emotional. I almost cried.
Not surprised there.
Is it shady in here? Is it shady in here? I think
someone just called resentment.
There's some shade in here.
But I mean, okay, so one of the things I'm doing right now is I have a tendency to fall into kind of obsession and compulsion with work, mainly work.
Not you.
So what I've been doing is I've been setting up these different things that I have to do during the day to maintain a level of balance and kind of self-care. Okay. So I already had some of those in place before this. So I was already working out at least once a day. But that was pretty much it. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to learn a language. I'm still working out.
Spanish?
Yes.
Good for you.
I'm still working out. I am now doing I try to meditate at least. I'm trying to do it as much as as long as I can, but I'm usually, depending on my anxiety levels and stress, 5 to 15 minutes a day. And that's really helpful, the meditation. Because I don't know, I was getting very angry for a while there, and I think a lot of that had to stem with stress and anxiety from work and from different health issues I have, and I think taking a step back and focusing on some self-care kind of helps with that. And then another thing I'm doing is I realize I haven't worked the steps in
years. Let's just say years.
I'm trying to think. Last time I was in recovery before this time, I did work all 12 steps. So that was 2016, I think. 2015, 16.
Well, you went to Chicago in 14.
I came back in 15. I worked the steps. Yeah, 15, 16. I worked the steps. That was my second time through. So, it's been almost 4 years since I've worked
The 12 steps.
Well, yeah, I mean, any real, like,
Recovery program.
Protocol. Yeah, like anything like that. So one thing I want to do, like, over the next year or two, is, I mean, I read a lot of literature last year, but I want to really take a look at myself through these different lenses of recovery and different programs.
I like that.
And, you know, I started with SMART.
Can I boost my mic a little bit? Can I do that? Because I seem low.
You're not low.
I'm not low?
You're a little far away.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Okay, there
You're
we go.
a little far
I just
away.
need to get a little bit closer.
And then when you do start talking, you boost real high. So
that's true.
See?
Oh, there we go.
There
we go. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think with SMART, like, I think I've been wanting to do SMART recovery for a while, and I'm not going to meetings, and that's more of a time thing. But, you know, I'm going through the handbook right now, and I haven't had like an aha moment in a while. So like I was like going through and I was like, oh shit, like I was realizing like one of my behaviors that I'm doing, you know, I am getting the reason I do it, I'm like, is because I'm stressed or I'm anxious. And then after doing it, I'm still stressed and anxious. So it's actually not really achieving anything.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit. You know, and I wouldn't have really, I mean, I would have probably come to that eventually, but like without, you know, working a program, I'm not quite sure, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of my game plan right now, is to go through like SMART, go through AA, go through Refuge, go through,
well, I just found out about rational recovery from our guest earlier today.
I'll probably go through Rational.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I like that because it's very logical. And like I was just having a conversation with your wife outside about how sometimes like I feel the 12 steps sometimes can overcomplicate things and put a little too much on your plate.
What do you mean by that?
Like in early recovery, like step 1 is 86 questions, something like that.
I thought it was 69. I might be wrong.
Either way, it's somewhere between 60 and 80 questions.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Which is like, that's a lot. Especially, let's say you're starting your first step somewhere between 30 and 90 days.
That's an NA though.
That's an NA. Okay. Yes. So specifically NA through like the step working guide. It can be a lot, which is good because it is thorough and like I appreciate that like a great deal. But it can also like it can be stressful. Mm-hmm. As I just mentioned, my friend Carly in her recovery, like she's working full time. She's going to school. And she's trying to work on step work. So like that balance issue is, it can be quite a task and it can add a lot of stress to your life, which especially in early recovery, she just celebrated 2 years, which is still semi-early recovery.
Yeah, 2 years is early.
Yeah, 2 years is early. And like she's trying to like do homework, because she works in a school, like she's doing schoolwork on both ends, professionally and academically, and then she's like trying to get through her steps as well, and like she's in her 4-step right now. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it's like getting the right sponsor, and because there's been times in my life and in my recovery that my sponsor has told me to pump the brakes on step work and really be like, hey, you need to ease off for a little while. You got a lot of stress. You're grieving, blah, blah, blah. Don't work on step 6 or 4 or whatever right now because it's a tender issue and it could be an emotional trigger. So, yeah, sometimes NA can be a little bit too much. Where I'm at in my recovery, I've felt a boost of sorts in the last couple weeks. Certainly we had a solid 5 week break from podcast recovery.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was a while. It was almost
a while.
2 months, actually.
Yeah, it was the end of November
To pretty much mid-January.
Yeah, mid-January. So, and like in the beginning, it was like, because we'd been pushing ourselves pretty hard for many months, and I think like we had both come to a stopping point where we were like, okay, we need to recharge. And like the first couple weeks without podcast recovery, it was cool. I was like, all right, I got some more time. This is good. And then I started feeling, because it also like came in conjunction in my recovery with leaving my home group and sort of coming into a new chapter of my recovery, if you will. And trying to like sort myself out and like where I'm at, where like what direction I want to go in. And then like the last couple weeks of the break, I was like, I need podcast recovery back. Like I need to start talking to people. Like I was still going to meetings, just not as regularly. I didn't have a commitment. But the last couple weeks I've gotten to go to, I think, like 3 anniversaries, and it's been really good. We've had some really good guests on the pod. And especially like Carly and our friend Pat's anniversary, I call them glimpses, because like there's been points in my recovery where like after a meeting or after like a social event with my people in recovery, I get like a really good emotional or just spiritual sense that like recovery's great. Like I really am enjoying recovery and see the benefits of it. And yeah, that's something I've felt in the last couple weeks, and it's good, because for the last, I don't know, month or two before that, I was pretty ambivalent to it. I was like, yeah, recovery's good, but like not really an active participant or necessarily as emotionally or psychologically invested. So that's starting to kick back in with like a new avenue, especially with our guest we just had, Tom, saying really focusing on looking forward instead of looking backward.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. So I'm really excited to start looking into rational recovery. I've looked into some refuge recovery meetings, which I want to go to in the very near future, after my winter hibernation shakes off.
It's February right now.
Yeah.
I know it's not February when you're listening to this, but it's February where we are in current time. I think we got 2 more months of this where it's like
mid-March.
I think April. It's April. Like, yeah.
Because we do have some March snow, but it's been such a mild.
March is always cold.
It's been such a fucking mild winter, dude. I mean, it's like 50 degrees out right now.
It's true.
Weird. It's weird.
It's true.
And I've curtailed my social media. I'm now eschewing Facebook as much as possible, because I just God, it's toxic.
I deleted my Facebook.
I know you did.
And I created another Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
So, and they're like, I'm trying to put some blinders on right now as pertaining to the world, because it's been stressing me out and I can't look at this shit that's going on.
Are we getting back to the world is a terrible place?
No. No, we're not. I'm putting blinders on, and the world is the world. Whatever it is out of my control, and it's bringing me down. So I'm focusing on me. I'm moving forward. I'm looking forward to this new job. New steps in my life. My wife got a full-time job, so that's good. She's moving forward. And so I'm not looking around anymore. I'm focusing. I'm getting very, very focal with my attention and my time, and what I'm putting my energy towards. And yeah, I'm moving forward.
Cool.
And I feel good about recovery.
Well, from this guest and everyone out
This
there.
is the worst part. I don't even want to look at you.
I want to say thanks for sharing, David.
And yeah, okay.
Keep coming back.
Don't, you fucker. I hate that. That's just the worst. I'm sorry.
It's so condescending.
It's so condescending. It's like, I'm sorry. Like, don't say that to people. Don't say keep coming back to people.
It is quite possibly the most condescending thing that, like, I have stopped going to meetings where a home group member at that meeting will say keep coming back after everyone's share, because I'm just
God,
like,
that's the worst.
I'm like, can you please,
like, you are not above anybody.
It's a pet peeve.
Who the fuck are you to tell other people to keep coming back? Like, yes, we all get it that's the goal, and that it's a good thing. Keep coming back is like doing it. The actual practice of going back to whatever your fellowship is,
so maybe
is a good thing.
Let's think about it this way, right? Like, you know how in different areas people call anniversaries birthdays, which I also dislike.
I dislike that as well.
But
yeah, because then they have their belly button birthday, which is so dumb. You've heard that, right?
I don't know what a belly button birthday is.
That's your actual birthday.
Oh.
Like you being birthed into the world, like umbilical, blah, blah, blah. That's your belly button birthday is your real birthday, but then your birthday is your clean time birthday or sobriety birthday.
I've never been a fan. But
No.
I get why people do it, and it's fine. And, whatever. Maybe that's the thing with like, the way we're describing keep coming back is very condescending. But maybe in some areas where keep coming back is replaced for like how we say thanks for sharing, people say keep coming back.
Thanks for
Maybe
sharing is a
that's their
solid
normal.
number 2 for me. It's like, thanks for sharing. It's like,
Well, but everyone says thanks for sharing after a share.
I know, but like even
That's like a normal thing to say.
that's totally normal. But like one thing I don't like after sharing, like in like a recovery meeting, is then people you don't want to fucking talk to, and people you don't normally talk to want to come up to you and give basically like unsolicited advice. And you're like, I was sharing for me, not so I could talk to you.
Oh.
And like the last like several times I've talked in a meeting, like from the audience, I'm like, please do not come and talk to me about this after the meeting. I like we didn't talk last week. We didn't talk the month before that. Like, I don't, if I want your advice, I'll come and share it, or I'll come and ask for it. But unsolicited advice is just one of the worst things.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that.
But not on thanks for sharing.
No, I guess.
And I don't give unsolicited advice. Like when people share in a meeting, a lot of the time it's just that's their platform to get shit off their chest.
Yeah.
And it's not really an invitation to everybody in the room to be like, I mean, unless they're like, hey, I'm new, I just get out of rehab, please come talk to me, give me your phone number. Like, that's a different type of share. That's a, like, for lack of better words and not trying to sound condescending, that's a cry for help.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, hey, please help me. In which case I'll be like, hey, I'm David, here's my phone number.
Yeah, that's doing the right thing as a newcomer.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna be like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm just opening a door, saying, here's my name, here's my face, here's my phone number. If you need me, then you can call me.
Yeah. I agree.
Which is the way my sponsorship family works. Like my sponsor does not give me unsolicited advice. Herb does not just chime in and like, hey, you should really get to a fucking meeting today. How long's it been since you've been to a meeting? Blah, 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 blah. But he will sort of jab at me and be like, hey, it's been a month since we've talked about step work. What's up? Which is what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, keep coming back and thanks for sharing. Everybody out there, try not to take them as necessarily Eric and I take them.
We're a little jaded, apparently.
Yeah. but ultimately it is a good thing, and everybody, thanks for sharing with Podcast Recovery.
Yeah.
And we hope you keep listening, and we'll keep working to bring more great content, great speakers to you, and really push the boundaries of recovery a little bit, and see what new aha moments we can give to ourselves and to our listeners and to our guests. And hopefully we can all keep growing, getting a little bit better. And everybody, thanks for sharing with us. Stay safe, stay clean.